I tracked every single dollar this month. Here's what I spent, what I saved, and what I learned. Let's get right into it. Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Nikki. If you are returning, welcome back. Now, you know your girl just came up off a 75 hard personal finance challenge. If you do not know what I'm talking about, I did a 75 hard personal finance challenge where I just tracked my spending every single day because I needed to go back to the basics. I was checking in with my finances on a week-to-week basis, and by the time I set my budget at the beginning of the week, by the time I checked back in that next week, I was already over the budget. So I needed to go back and just write my spending down every single time that I spent money on my expense tracker. And that's exactly what I did. I ended that challenge, I think, on October 14th. And yeah, you would think that I would go into the rest of the month knowing what I'm supposed to be doing and not going over the budget. But spoiler alert, your girl did go over the budget in some of her categories. But I feel like I have a reasonable reason why I actually went over. But we will get into that. If you are interested in seeing what I'm talking about the 75 hard personal finance challenge, I'm gonna link that video after this one so you can go over there and watch it. But first, let's go ahead and get into all of my budgeting categories. I have 7 different budgeting categories that I like to put all of my expenses inside of, and I like to just give myself a budget because I can remember 7 different categories. I can't remember 25. I know people do the cash envelopes. I am a cashless budgeter. The same thing that people do with cash envelopes, I kind of do with checkings and savings account. And I list out my budget categories from the most important to the least important. And that's typically how I spend money. First, whenever I get money, I save money. Then I start paying off my bills. And then I start paying down debt. And then I start spending money. So that's why I'm not too really strict on my budget. I'm not like your typical budgeter, I would say. I feel like I have gotten to the place where as long as I'm taking care of the important things, as long as I'm reaching my financial goals, I feel like it's okay to spend a little money. I am not that type of person that just because you're in debt, that all of your money got to go towards debt, all of your money got to go towards your bill, and you can't have any money for yourself. I'm not that type of person. If you are that type of person and you're looking for someone that's that type of person, I may not be the budgeter person for you. And plus, this is not financial advice at all. I'm just sharing what it is that I am doing. I'm not saying that you got to be exactly like me, but this has literally been working for me. This has really been helping me save money. This has literally been helping me pay my bills on time. Nothing is actually late. My credit score is actually going out. I feel like I'm doing pretty good. Now, could I be doing more? Of course, I could be doing more. But let's get right into these categories, starting off with the most important, and that's my savings. So my savings, I budget $557.56 this month, and I actually put $557.56 into my savings account. Now, when it comes to my retirement, that is automatically taken out of my paycheck before money is even deposited into my checking account. Investing is automatically taken out of my paycheck before money is actually deposited into my checking account as well. And then the Roth IRA, once the money is deposited into my checking account, I have dedicated $50 to go inside of a separate Roth IRA Fidelity account. That's who I use if you are interested in using Fidelity or opening up a Roth IRA, or if you just into investing. I'm gonna link Fidelity down below in the description box so you can check them out. It doesn't cost you anything to open it up. That's the reason why I started off with them, because a lot of the other platforms want you to start off with $500, $1,000, that type of stuff. And Fidelity, I didn't have to start off with anything. I just opened it up and I was good to go. Now I have automatic draft from my checking account going into the Roth IRA every time that I get paid. And I did something reasonable. It don't have to be this big, large number, you guys. It could be $5, $1, $10, $12, $50, like how I'm doing. I'm starting off small, something that I know that I can put inside of there so I can keep it going. The next category is my home category. Now, within my home category, I have 2 separate checking accounts for this. I have my mortgage and my utilities, which includes the mortgage payment, the light bill, the water bill, the internet, the trash, the cable bill, all of the main important bills to keep this house going. I have that inside of a separate checking account, and I put money inside of that checking account on the 1st of the month, and the bills start rolling out of that account around the 5th of the month. The mortgage come out first, and then everything else follows right behind it. I don't even know the dates that the bill actually comes out of there. I just know that one time that when I first moved here, because I've been here for a year, after that first couple of months that I started bills start coming out, I started adding everything up. And then once I got to my number, which my number is $1,750 because my mortgage actually went up after 4 or 5 months of me being here because of the taxes on the house and stuff like that. So if you're into buying a house, I would say please make sure you have more than enough savings set up. And just don't go in the house just being broke. And it's just, if you want a whole video on the the do's and don'ts of buying a house and that type of stuff, I can do a video on that. There's certain things that I would do differently if I was to be buying a house all over again. But please do not go in a house broke at all, because you never know, your mortgage payment may go up within 4 or 5 months of you moving in, because you don't know what is going on, when the people going to come out there and assess the taxes and that type of stuff, because I did not know. 4 months, y'all, my mortgage payment went up $500. So before I was putting $1,500 inside of this account, now I'm putting $1,750 inside of this account. And then the other checking is left for my regular bills, like life insurance, short-term disability, my phone bill, and then my aftercare for my son. So I budgeted $2,586.88 for the month of October, and I ended up spending $2,586.61. So I saved a little bit of change. It ain't much. It ain't nothing to brag about. I just saved a little bit of change, and that money typically just stays in that account and just continuously roll over wherever it is, leftovers at. The next category is food, and this is where your girl is ashamed. Because y'all know I can eat up a budget, but for reasonable reasons. Now, I did go to the grocery store, and I did a big, gigantic grocery run, because I wanted to make sure that we were stocked up. Now I'm going to the grocery store and I'm just like stocking up on things. I'm also finding myself going back to the grocery store on a week-to-week basis, restocking on the things that we have ran out on. I don't know why people think that when we get groceries in this house that they just gotta dog it. You know what I'm saying? Like a gallon of milk is lasting me like 2-3 days, and I gotta run back to the grocery store and get another gallon of milk. So now when I go to the grocery store, I'm actually just getting two gallons of milk, like 3 boxes of cereal, because those are the typical things that we actually run out of. And speaking of cereal, the mega size is not megaing. It's not the mega size anymore. Walmart, I don't know if you think that we don't know that the mega size is now the family size. That mega size box, y'all raised the price on the mega size box, but y'all didn't raise the volume of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all think nobody noticed, but I noticed that mega size has shrunk to like the family size. That's really what that mega size is. It's the family size, and you still charging the price of what that mega size used to be. So it's like this, y'all. You're not getting more bang for your buck anymore. It's like they are downsizing the quantity of items, but they're still raising the price. So things have literally gone up. I may just have to go up on my grocery budget and make it $500, because it seemed like I am going back to the grocery store multiple times. Even a pack of pork chop. I used to be able to get 4 pork chops in a pack. Now they're only giving me 3. And maybe I should just get the family size, because maybe that may be cheaper. But dang, $20 for a pack of pork chops is just ridiculous. So that's why I just get like the little the 1 servings or whatever. But it used to be at least 4 pork chops in there. Now it's only 3 pork chops in there, and I'm paying like $9 for that. So everything's going up, but my budget ain't went up for it. And I just need to be realistic with myself and realistic with just how the times are, is that everything is going up, and you just got to raise your budget on it. So I budgeted $350 for food and groceries. That doesn't just, include just groceries, but that's just out to eat and stuff like that as well. And I ended up spending $421.28. So I don't know, y'all. I ate up the budget. I'll take that. I ate up the budget along with my son eating up the budget, and everybody else in this house eating up the budget. The next category is transportation. And here I budgeted $305 for transportation, because October is my birthday month, so I had to get my emissions and my tag. However, my car is still down. I wasn't able to get a tag or emission. I know I'm gonna eventually be charged for that. So I save a little bit of money. So I ended up spending $246.04 on transportation. Didn't get a sticker for my car, and didn't get emissions, but I know I'm gonna be paying for that on the back end once it's time to renew my tag and I can get my car back up and running. Right now it's broke down, so nothing I can do about that. The next category is subscriptions. Now, I budgeted $91.96 for subscription. I only ended up spending $61.98. So super excited about that. I've been focusing on rolling what is a business expense into a business, letting it come out of the business account. So I gotta still go back and do a whole lot of changing over. I don't know how it may work with my payouts coming up next month and this, that type of thing or whatever. So I'm hoping I'll get payouts next month. If not, I may have to get everything in December or January. I'm not exactly sure. So I'm just going to plan for that as well, because I do got to change my tax documents over. I'm no longer a sole proprietor anymore. I am officially a LLC, so I gotta move that stuff over, give YouTube information about my business and stuff like that, and change the tax stuff, so that way the stuff that I am actually claiming as an expense can be written off with my LLC from the money that my LLC makes. So I gotta do a whole lot of changing stuff over. I will let y'all know how that go once I get everything situated. The next category is debt payments. And debt payments, I budgeted $204. I was going to send an extra $200 towards the student loans, and then $4 actually come out with the Merit credit card. That always come out because it's just on, I don't know, the card is paid off, but it just keep charging me the $4 for the monthly fee to, I guess, to have it open. Now, because I know that I went over the budget on my food category, and then I went over it by almost $100. So I may be able to still send the $100 to student loans, but I'm definitely not going to be able to send $200 over there, because I know that I have already went over the budget when it comes to the food category. And I guess that's what's been saving my butt. Just because I went over in one category, a lot of times I don't go over in the others, and it kind of balances itself out. And yeah, that has been working for me, because I do still have all of this money in certain accounts. So the most important stuff is in a separate account, and my spending stuff is in my main checking account. So as long as I know that I have money in there, I know that everything is all good. Now, the last category is miscellaneous, and I didn't do any miscellaneous spending far as budgeting it all out, because I felt like when you put the money, when you say miscellaneous, it could be anything. Sometimes I try to break it down, okay, giving my son a haircut. He want to go to the book fair. He want to do, go out to the pumpkin patch, or, different little things. But sometimes it don't always fall in that category. So I'm just going to leave miscellaneous as fun. Now, if I can plan out certain things within miscellaneous, I will. But far as what I had left $1,454.60 for my miscellaneous spending, or that was the remaining of the money that I actually had left in doing a zero-based budget. So I ended up spending $382 in miscellaneous spending, and I did put money on my son's account for him to go to the book fair and buy books and do little fun things like that. Also, I bought things for him from the thrift store. I found some polo shirts, for really good prices. He needed a bigger coat because these boys, they grow really quickly, and plus he can't have colorful coats at school anymore. They're just saying that they need a black coat. He had a blue coat, so I had to buy him a coat. So found a really good one. Still had the tag on it. Well, they didn't have the price tag on it, but it had the little tag that you can kind of tell that it was new. That was still on there, so I got that. And I guess basically that's it. Got my brows done a couple of times, that type of stuff. So I don't think it was really a whole lot going on, but $382. That's a lot of money. I could be using that money somewhere else. I could be putting that money into my savings and things like that. But that is what I actually spent in the month of October. Now, what I learned from all of this, I learned that sometimes you don't have to be strict with your budget. Sometimes you do need to let your hair down and just breathe a little bit. Sometimes you do just need to buy that smoothie bowl. Sometimes you do need to just buy that frappe. If you are saving money, if you are paying off debt, if you are handling your business when it comes to your bills and stuff like that, I do not see an issue with you spending money on yourself, on your kids, on your family, that type of stuff. Now, am I saying go in debt doing these things? No, I'm definitely not saying go in debt doing these things. I'm definitely not saying don't put money in your savings and go and buy this type of stuff. No, I'm definitely not saying any of that. I definitely recommend you save money first. Then I definitely recommend you take care of them household bills next. And then I definitely recommend you paying down that debt, because once you get that debt paid off, that's going to be more money. So that's all for this video. I don't have nothing else really to say. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.